All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. So today, this is the 12 o'clock show. This is 12 o'clock show. Go get some lunch. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get y'all double whopper or some Popeyes. You know, you eat at Popeyes, right? Go to Popeyes and you tell them you want the flavored Jones, and they put the sauce on it, and then they put it in a box. They shake it up. You thinking that the way they got it on the commercial, that they gonna dip the joint in there, every wing inside of some sauce, and then put it in the box. Like, nah, nigga. They putting sauce on top and shaking it up and giving it to you. That's what they doing. That shit crazy. But look, today we gonna do another timeline. I found another one, and this one is actually more interesting. It's a little bit longer, and it's a little more detailed than the last one. The last one was pretty good. This one is pretty good too. So I figured that y'all might like this too. All right, man. Look, I gotta get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful single ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content, and that's absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, links is on the screen. Cash App, PayPal is in the description. Also, too, they call me the hidden gem and a hero. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about that. The hidden gem and a hero over here. I went from 1,300 subscribers. Now I have almost 10,000. So look, we're going to get into this clip, man. Also, too, let me know where you're from. Seen a lot of people from other countries. I really appreciate it. UK. Somebody was from South Africa. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start giving my number out. Start calling some of y'all. And someone asked me where I was from. I am from Jersey. Yeah, I'm saying. So just keep that in mind. Jersey. So, you know what I'm saying? And they wanted to know a little bit about me, but I'll make a separate video for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very interesting character. One day y'all will see me come on here as a whole nother character. And I'm going to surprise y'all. So, all right, man, let's get into it. All right, man, so let's get it.
Kendrick Lamar and Drake are two of the biggest rap artists in the world. Both of their individual successes tower over so many other artists combined, holding impressive catalogs of music in their own regard. But what would happen if the two of them decided to end each other's career?
Reincarnated, I'm a stargazing. Life goes on, honey, to all my babies.
Well, to know about that, we need to go to the beginning. Aubrey Graham was born October 24th. Whoa, not that far. No, the year is 2012. And after the success and arguably Drake's greatest album, Take Care, Drake goes on his Club Paradise tour and decides to bring along a little-known rapper featured on his Buried Alive interlude track, Kendrick Lamar.
This is my brother A$AP Rocky. This is my brother Kendrick Lamar.
Now, in 2012, Kendrick is still a pretty unknown artist, only having released one mixtape and one album. So Drake bringing up this up-and-coming artist was a huge deal. But all...
You know my saying. I guess I'm a little biased on this one. I don't think it was really a huge deal. I think Kendrick actually built his own legacy. And I think Drake was just, I ain't going to even sit here and say Drake catapulted him to success, because I don't think that was the case. I think Kendrick Lamar, especially with swimming pools, he came with swimming pools, and it was like, when I first heard swimming pools, I didn't know what I was listening to. I said, this is not a rapper. I was like, this is crazy. At first, I didn't like it. I ain't going to lie. I did not like swimming pools at first, because I just thought it was a typical joint. And then I was sitting in my car and it came on. And then I was listening to how he was rapping. I was like, nah. And then I said, you know what? Let me see what else he has. And I think I listened to like maybe a couple of weeks later or a couple of days later, I listened to Kill My Vibe. And I said, yeah, this guy's different. And I really wasn't a fan yet. But I was just saying this guy is different. I was just saying he was different. And then when I heard Good Kid, Mad City, I said, oh, shit. We have a legend in the making on our hands. Then that's when I went back and listened to Section 80, Overly Dedicated. Then I listened to the Black Hippies, everything. It's crazy.
That would change on October 22nd of that year when Kendrick Lamar would release this.
Okay, with me. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Good Kid, Mad City, a 12-track masterpiece telling a story of Kendrick Lamar's upbringing in Compton and the different struggles he had to go through around that time. Let's fast forward to 2013, where Kendrick is no longer an underground artist, being awarded MTV's 2013 Hottest MC and Best Male Hip Hop Artist, with Good Kid, Mad City being considered the greatest album of all time. Drake and Kendrick's relationship was still pretty strong, with both artists celebrating each other's wins. But in August 14, 2013, Kendrick would release a song with Big Sean titled Control. This song became so massive and became Kendrick's verse, pushing Kendrick's career further than ever into the starlight for attacking industry idols such as Big Sean, J. Cole, and of course, Drake. And even though in this song he has verses like,
I got love for you all, but
he also has bars like,
I'm trying to murder you niggas.
And
Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas.
saying that Kendrick was coming for the crown and there was nothing that was gonna get in his way. Nobody seemed to have an issue.
Damn, yo, the editing on this is retarded, yo. This is amazing. I like the other one, but this one right here, yeah. These dudes are really good with editing. I don't know how they do this. I really don't know how they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how they do it. I'm sure if I sat down for a week, maybe less than that, I'm pretty good with stuff, I could figure it out fast. But I just I like their stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like their stuff. Yeah, this is good, man. This is really good. And what he's saying so far, man, I agree. I agree with all this. This is great. Let's go.
About the song either. They knew this is what the rap game needed right now, except one person, Drake.
Nobody yelled out Kendrick Lamar. Are you listening to it now? It was one of those things. It's like I almost wish when it comes to competition, I'm more worried about little respect. I'm more worried about verse. If it's really fuck everybody, then it needs to be fuck everybody.
Let's take a break from this and fast forward to October 6, 2023.
That nigga, boy, that nigga was in his feelings. You could see it. He already knew, like, he probably felt like, damn, man, I put this nigga on and he just coming for me. This nigga, he probably felt like he got stabbed in the back. Oh, oh, Kendrick, why? Damn.
At this point, both artists are extremely successful. While both artists would have their instances of beef, both artists were more focused on their individual successes, with Kendrick having a grand total of 5 studio albums covering topics.
I promise you I'll do coke. For anybody to jump in the comments and say, why you always wiping your nose? I was just eating. You know what I'm saying? So I promise I never did drugs in my life. Not one. Not one drug. Nothing. Weed, coke, dope, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but sometimes I might get on here. Y'all might think I'm on drugs because y'all ain't see nothing yet. Trust me, stick with me.
Which is the struggle of duality and awakening, wickedness or weakness, and being a damaged person. We also had Drake, with 10 studio albums under his belt, focused more on trying different styles of music rather than trying to send a single message to the world. So how did all this beef start? For that, we need to focus on Drake's most recent album, For All the Dogs, collaborating with people such as Yeat, Bad Bunny, and of course, J. Cole, on track 6, First Person Shooter, where we would get our first reference back to Kendrick with lines.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started a league.
J. Cole saying how in the rap game you have 3 best of the best, and in his case, it's J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. J. Cole saying that him and Kendrick were the best was nothing out of the ordinary. So what happened? For that, let's fast forward to March 22nd, 2024, where Metro Boomin and Future would drop their highly anticipated album, We Don't Trust You, a 17-track collaborative album, with Metro Boomin providing the beats and so many rappers providing their voice, such as The Weeknd, Playboi Carti, and the one that stood out from the rest, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick had a lot to say in this song, throwing shots at both J. Cole and Drake with bars like,
Sneak this in first person shooter.
and,
Motherfuck the big three. It's just big me.
and,
For all your dogs getting buried. That's a K with all these nines. He gon' see Pet Cemetery.
referencing back to first person.
That song is hard, man. I was listening to that joint today. Kendrick really took over the summer. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. He fucked this summer up. And I want to talk about something. I might do this on the 6 o'clock show. Did Kendrick Lamar ruin hip hop? And what I mean by that is, did he make it to the standard of him now? Because nobody's doing nothing no more. Everybody wants to just hear Kendrick. But I want to talk about that a little more deep. It might not be the 6 o'clock show, but I don't know. But we'll get to it. Let's go.
Shooter, where J. Cole would call them the big three, but Kendrick shoots back explaining there's only one above the rap game, and it's him. As well, Kendrick throws disses to Drake's album and persona. Now, this sparked a fire in the rap community, with people asking, why is everyone all of a sudden having a vendetta against Drake? Let's move away from this and fast forward to 2 weeks from that point, to April 5th. With the release of J. Cole's mixtape, Might Delete Later, this mixtape seems normal until you reach track 12, 7-Minute Drill, where J. Cole would respond to Kendrick's diss saying,
He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first was classic, your last was tragic. Your second was asleep, but they gassed it. Your third was massive, and that was your prime.
J. Cole claiming that Kendrick's discography is all over the place, saying that this record was gassed up, and this record was not at the level it should be. Now, a lot of people were not a huge fan of this record, but we would soon find out why.
I'm so proud of that project, except for one part.
Man, I don't know what the fuck you niggas was listening to. That album is classic. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that may be. See, Kendrick Lamar has a weird discography because all his albums are really good. All of them, to me, are classics. All of them, even down to Section 80. You start to argue with yourself about which ones are the best ones. Obviously, To Pimp a Butterfly, but then most people would say Good Kid, Mad City. And some people would say, Damn. You know what I'm saying? Some people would say Section 80. Some people would say, what's the name? Mr. Morale. I'm always flip-flopping between Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. Overall, I probably would most likely go to Pimp a Butterfly 100% if I had to pick. But Mr. Morale is arguably, you would argue, Damn or Mr. Morale. So it would be 3. You know what I'm saying? So he's the only artist that I know that I fight with myself about which album that he has. Which album that he has is number one. Now, see, with all these other artists like J. Cole, Drake, you would clearly say their album is number one. And for him, most people might disagree with me, but I'm going with Born Sinner. I think that's his best album. I know most people will say Far Sail Drive, but I like Born Sinner. I think Born Sinner is the best he did. Drake, you know what I mean, nothing was the same for me. You know what I'm saying? I know some people will say, and actually, if you're reading this too late, those are his 2 best albums to me, even though he didn't put that up as an album. I don't know why, but still. So let's keep it going.
Bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world.
Let's move away from this and fast forward to 2 weeks from that point, to April 5th. With the release of J. Cole's mixtape, Might Delete Later, this mixtape seems normal until you reach track 12, 7-Minute Drill, where J. Cole would respond to Kendrick's diss saying,
He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first was classic, your last was tragic. Your second was asleep, but they gassed it. Your third was massive, and that was your prime.
J. Cole claiming that Kendrick's discography is all over the place, saying that this record was gassed up, and this record was not at the level it should be. Now, a lot of people were not a huge fan of this record, but we would soon find out why.
Yo, that's funny. Yeah, I had to run that back. Something happened. Let's go.
Later, this mixtape seems normal until you reach track 12, 7-minute drill, where J. Cole would respond to Kendrick's diss saying,
He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first was classic, your last was tragic. Your second put us to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third was massive, and that was your prime.
J. Cole claiming that Kendrick's discography is all over the place, saying that this record was gassed up, and this record was not at the level it should be. Now, a lot of people were not a huge fan of this record, but we would soon find out why.
I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. Bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like, Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I.
J. Cole would soon delete the record off the face of the earth and explains how he has nothing but love for his brothers and drops out of the fight. Now, let's put our focus back to Drake. What did Drake do? For that, we need to fast forward to April 13th, where Twitter would go crazy over this leaked song by Drake titled Push-Ups.
Drake is responding. Round 2.
You better go in on this track. That's all I know.
You're gonna need every second of that.
The main theme of this record being high jokes, as Drake starts saying to Kendrick, and as Drake put the album cover to this record as Kendrick's shoe size, he's also making fun of Kendrick.
Yo, that was funny. I ain't gonna lie. That was funny. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him the jokes. Drake got the jokes. That was funny until Kendrick came with his jokes. When Kendrick came with his jokes, yo, popping ass with Sexy Red. I said, damn, these niggas is going. I said, damn, these niggas is going out. They got the jokes. Yo.
For following his label's orders to release music, with Kendrick having to give them 50% of all the earnings.
Need a verse, you better make it witty. Yummy need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50.
People fell in love with this record, claiming that whatever Kendrick was cooking up had to be levels above the energy Drake put into this one. And while most would have thought that Drake would have just waited, after a lack of response from Kendrick, Drake would release a secret track titled Tailor Made Freestyle only 6 days later on April 19th. Up to this point, the records have been aimed to multiple people, but Tailor Made Freestyle was aimed directly at Kendrick, with the name of the record being a direct diss again on how he's in the mercy of his label and forced to make music for people like Taylor Swift. With Drake having an AI replica of both Drake's biggest role models and biggest legends from the West Coast, Tupac and Snoop Dogg, trying to get into his head by having Tupac and Snoop send motivational messages to Kendrick.
Kendrick, we need ya. The West Coast savior. This Canadian light-skinned doc. We need to know the baby West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me.
Saying as Tupac, he would have handled it way better than Kendrick is up to this point. These records would hold their ground for a decent amount of time, for a lot of people favoring Drake for the disses he threw. Now, let's go just 2 days later to April 21st, when everything would change.
Yo, Dot, I got you.
Whoops, this is irrelevant. No, let's move along to April 30th, when we would finally get Kendrick's response to everything, with a almost 7-minute diss track cut up into 3 parts titled Euphoria. Here, Kendrick plays the role of a therapist and dissects all of Drake's personas, with his radio-friendly pop songs and how he's a huge liar, with the beginning line.
Woo, shit, my man said everything they say about me is true.
You're not a rap artist, you a scam.
Damn. Euphoria is so hard, yo. Euphoria, man. God damn. What was I at when I heard Euphoria? Oh, I was in my kitchen. I was in my kitchen and I was washing dishes. Yo, it's crazy. I was in my kitchen when Euphoria came out, and I was in my kitchen when Not Like Us came out. Meet the Grams. I was upstairs about to get ready for bed because I had just finished doing a reaction to Family Matters. And I went upstairs and I was talking to one of my boys, and then it came across my timeline that Kendrick dropped another joke. Ran downstairs real quick. And 616 in LA, I think I was in my car. And I got a notification and I listened to it. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm artist with a hopes of being accepted.
Explaining that Drake doesn't deserve to be in the rap culture, as he's more of an actor than anything. Since Kendrick makes music to inspire and to innovate, Drake makes music for hits, not being a good influence to his child and the people who look up to him by saying,
I make music that electrify 'em. You make music that pacify 'em. Know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
And on how his raps are the only thing he's got for himself and neglects all other aspects in his life.
Oh shit, I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up, know nothing about that. And tell them to pray, know nothing about that.
We also hear on how Kendrick is bothered on how Drake loves to keep this look on how he came up from a tough upbringing, when Kendrick actually lived through that life, and on how he's infatuated with rapping hard, instead of singing his radio hits by saying,
how many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? I like Drake with the melodies, I don't like Drake when he act tough.
And then Kendrick flat out explains the reason why he doesn't like Drake.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress, I hate the way that you sneak diss.
Now both artists have dropped their disses with them having their own jaw-dropping bars, and gave fans an opportunity to dissect both records bar for bar to see who lyrically came up on top. That was until 3 days later on May 3rd, Kendrick would drop 616 in LA. With this title having a lot of meaning, with it being a direct reference to Drake's series of music, Tupac's birthday, Father's Day in Canada, and an indirect Bible verse from the book of Proverbs that speaks on hate. The song begins by having Kendrick saying, a direct reference to Drake's song Survival, where he talks on having a near-death experience from being in the streets, with Kendrick mocking the name.
Bro, that's crazy. I didn't even pick up on that. I didn't even pick up on that. How did I miss that? How did I miss that? That's crazy. That's crazy.
The song for this fake persona that Drake has been building. Throughout the song, Kendrick speaks on having a beautiful life with money, morals, and culture, while Drake is always fishing for that check to come in and always wanting more and more money by saying,
trifecta, money, morals, and culture, that's my leisure. Who can reach us? Only God can teleport this type of freedom. Angels watching me all the time, put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace.
And more importantly, Kendrick points out that he has insights in OVO and what really goes on in there by saying,
have you ever thought that OVO is working for me? You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. If you were street smart, then you would have.
Bro, everyone in your team's wishing that you deserve it. Whispering that you deserve it. Yo.
Card that your entourage is only to hustle you. 100 niggas that you got on salary, and 20 of them want you as a casualty.
Emphasizing that Drake has moles in OVO that would rather see him dead than to see him succeed, and are feeding Kendrick all this information. 616 in LA was released at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that day, but in the following hours, Drake was ready to end it by releasing Family Matters around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, alongside a 7-minute music video where Drake is seen crushing the van on the cover of Kendrick's album, Good Kid, Mad City. Family Matters is cut up into 3 sections and sees Drake getting more aggressive as the beat seems to switch. The record begins by having Drake do exactly what Kendrick said no one wanted to hear anymore.
We don't wanna hear you say no more.
Stop.
I said it, I know that you mad.
And is a direct sequel to his song Push Ups, as it begins where the song ended.
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Yeah, I was really trying to keep it PG.
Family Matters is really focused on Kendrick's romantic life, claiming on how Kendrick is a wannabe saint for all his people, but is yet married to Whitney, a mixed woman, by saying,
You the black messiah, wifing up a mixed queen, and hit vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem. Yet I wanna know what Whitney.
That was fire. I ain't gonna lie. That was fire. That was fire. I'm not gonna lie. That was fire.
All that puppy love was over in y'all late teens.
Who as well gets attacked in the song, claiming that she has been abused by Kendrick and has been sleeping with Dave Free, Kendrick's longtime friend and co-founder of PG Lang, by writing,
When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense cause she bigger than you? I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free.
Now, Drake thought that this would be the end of Kendrick as fans began to praise the song as it came out with bar after bar, and it was the end. for about 30 minutes, where around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Kendrick without warning dropped Meet the Grams, a 6.5-minute song, with it being written in the form of a letter, with each verse being addressed to a different member of Drake's family, warning them and telling them how horrible of a person Drake really is. But first, let's focus on this album cover, which is a zoomed out full screen image of what was shown in 616 in LA's Maybach glove.
Bro, this battle is so fascinating. This is fascinating, man. This is like watching a real live movie. Like, this is fascinating. You know what I'm saying? You go back and listen to those songs now. Push-Ups is cool, and Family Matters is dope. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick just took it to another stratosphere. But if you play all these songs and like back to back, this is the best battle I ever heard. Like, for real. Not listen to all the battles. And yeah, they was going crazy. I think Drake should have never gave up, though. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think he should have kept going. He shouldn't have gave up. But I think that once he started talking about Kendrick family, then he was tapped out, because Kendrick put the pressure on him. And I think that he didn't really, because he knows that Kendrick knows. Obviously, Drake knows that Kendrick knows much more than what he's leading on to. And Kendrick even admits, the rabbit hole's deep. I could go further, I promise. And he really warned him that he didn't want to go down that route. You know what I'm saying? But he took the bait, and that's what happened.
Showing us his belongings such as receipts and medical prescriptions. The song is cut up into 5 sections speaking to 5 different people. First, Drake's son, Adonis, who Drake got exposed of having back with his beef with Pusha T. In it, Kendrick is apologizing to Adonis for having such a horrible man as a father, and how he doesn't have to follow into his footsteps by saying,
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father, let me be honest. I'm sorry that you gotta grow up and then stand behind him. Let me be your mentor, since your daddy don't teach you.
Next is to Drake's parents, both Sandra and Dennis, who Drake speaks on frequently in their song Sandra Rose, and Dennis being on the cover of Drake's 2017 album More Life, where Kendrick has them both sat to have a conversation on how they're to blame for Drake being the way that he is, in lines.
You raised a horrible person, the nerve of you, Dennis. Sandra, sit down when I'm about.
Oh my God. You raised a horrible person, the nerve of you, Dennis. This is crazy.
To say is heavy, now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think like him should die.
And telling them both what's really going on inside of OVO.
Got offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance.
And
we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking.
After, we have Kendrick speaking to Drake's hidden 11-year-old daughter, apologizing to her for Drake being an absentee father, and only focuses on his music and women by saying,
Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. He don't commit to much but his music, yeah, that's for sure. Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar, right? And a fucking dead beat that should never say more life.
Finally, Kendrick addresses Drake directly, but not dissing him, but more putting him in the position of help, saying that he can do better and shining light on some issues with lines like,
You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting women problems, therapy's a lovely start.
And then flat out tells Drake everything he's been lying about, showing that this beef has nothing to do with Drake the rapper, but more of Drake the person. With bars.
Take that mask off, I wanna see what's under them achievements. You lied about your son, you lied about your daughter, huh? You lied about them other kids that's out there hoping that you come. Rap battle, this a long life battle with yourself.
With Kendrick now.
Oh my God. This a long life battle with yourself. How you get around that bar, bro? You can't get around that bar. That is a cut that you can't stitch out, bro. It's a long life battle with yourself. Oh my God.
Having 4 diss tracks and Drake having 3, you were able to make a fair comparison between both artists, with Drake hitting more of the punchy one-liners and Kendrick going for the more lyrical embodiment, until the following day, when Kendrick would surprise drop Not Like Us, a West Coast inspired song, with the cover having 12 sex offender pins over Drake's mansion. The song would take a slight turn from the previous songs released by Kendrick. Here, the record takes a more upbeat approach, with the shots being less understandable to the public eye, having it being more focused on being a love letter to Compton, hence the name Not Like Us, and continues with a series of accusations and metaphors that paint Drake as weak, untrustworthy, and a pedophile by having lines like,
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever
never go to cell block 1. And any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister phone. And trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
The predator accusations on Not Like Us don't only stop at Drake, as Kendrick continues to accuse everyone inside of OVO. Kendrick questions Drake's authenticity inside of his raps, name-dropping other artists, saying that Drake got his name through them when he raps.
You caught Future when you didn't see the club. What little baby help you get your lingo up? What 2 Chainz say you good, but he lied.
This became the certified stamp for a lot of people, as it was able to keep a catchy flow while still being able to hold itself strong as a diss track. So what did Drake do after being attacked so violently? For that, let's jump to the very next day on May 5th, when Drake would drop The Heart Part 6, a clear reference to Kendrick's The Heart series that would tease his albums to come, with the song cover being a comment left by Dave Free, who Drake again has rapped on before, and raps again here by saying,
"And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she?"
Yeah, I don't understand that about Drake. It's like, you know, the crazy thing is, like, with all these from Maul to academics to all of them, everybody that was glazing for Drake, what cracks me up about them is they feel like people have to, because he says something, they have to give him a response. Like, why isn't Whitney denying the allegations that I made up? like I made these allegations up, and why she ain't denying it? Why? I lied. Why can't she just tell everybody? It's like, no, nigga, she don't have to say anything. She just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lie. Like, you know how it is. If you ain't telling the truth, you ain't gonna get mad. Like, some people do get mad if they being lied on. Your girl screaming like, "Oh my God, you know I wasn't doing nothing. You know I wasn't doing nothing." Why you mad then? Because you're blaming me. You're blaming me. Okay, all right. Then you find out she really wasn't doing nothing. You be like, damn, I feel bad. Right.
Following Dave Free and I missed the morale. You haven't seen the kids in 6 months. The distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child.
Drake telling Kendrick that the information that
beat is crazy fire. That beat's crazy fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Given to him was something that Drake and his team came up with to purposely feed to him by rapping.
We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old.
Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point, just shut the fuck up.
God, chill, Drake. No, you didn't. You gotta chill, bro.
I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation.
Saying that the daughter that Kendrick wrote to in Meet the Grams was something that was made up and given to Kendrick to see if he runs with it. As well goes over the album cover from Meet the Grams saying,
"Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation."
We hear Drake clear up his name through the lyrics by going through each point that Kendrick wrote about, mainly about him being with underage girls, and goes on his rap saying this:
"Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested."
Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point, just shut the fuck up.
Drake, you gotta chill, bro. I'm too popular for this. You know me. I can't do nothing because everybody knows me. I can't do shit in secret. You crazy.
I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message.
And
only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice at no teenager.
People found this one of the weaker disses, as it seems more of a plead case than an actual diss to Kendrick, with some subpar lines on him raising the white flag, saying that he doesn't want to diss Drake anymore.
I'm not gonna lie, this was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor.
But now we're at the point where every diss track is out. That's 9 tracks spanning from March 22nd to May 5th, 2024. But how did Kendrick decide to respond to Drake's most recent diss? For that, let's move along to June 19th. It's been quiet in the Drake/Kendrick front since the Hard Part 6, but Kendrick would not drop another track on June 19th, but a pop-out event called Ken and Friends in LA, not only to perform, but to bring together the culture of LA all together in one place, showing how strong LA culture is, not only for hip-hop, but as a city. Here, Kendrick cements his place as the king of the West Coast, and brings together some of the biggest West Coast rappers into one place, with people like Mustard, Dr. Dre, Steve Lacy, Tyler the Creator, as well members of the Black Hippie. Healing and unity were the main objectives here at the pop-out, overshadowing any disses, but Drake's role as a common adversary helped achieve that unity, singing each song from his side of the disses to singing Not Like Us 5 times during the pop-out. This left everyone feeling like the diss had been settled with Drake, no longer saying anything, and that's how it would stay, until the 4th of July, when Kendrick would release a music video to one of the biggest hits from the disses, Not Like Us, which begins by showing us a snippet of an unreleased track, speaking on how Drake appeared to have killed Kendrick, but here he is, reincarnated.
Get in. Reincarnated, I was stargazing. Life goes on, honey, to all my babies.
We also see Compton City Hall.
These dudes is going back and forth crazy. Everything Drake said, Kendrick got a response for it. Yo, I love this, man. I love this, man. Damn, yo, this is great.
We know Kendrick is from. The music video is filled with homages to the city and is a love letter to his people and culture, showing that it would never die. Having LA legends show up in the music video like Tommy the Clown, DeMar DeRozan, Mustard, and so many others. The music video also doesn't fail to send jabs at Drake, as it's filled with hidden meaning and messages towards him. For example, we have Kendrick and Drake's look from his mixtape Dark Lane demo tapes, full speed towards him before being pulled away from his aura. Kendrick dancing over a game of hopscotch, this hand movement, which is a callback to Drake that does this on a live with a young girl. Kendrick hitting a piñata of the OVO owl, and him locking up the owl at the end. We also get Dave Free in this music video with Kendrick, which has been a main issue throughout the disses but has been cleared up now. Then cut to seeing Kendrick's family with Whitney and his 2 children, clearing the claim that Drake was throwing onto her, as she's seen here dancing with him and their children, and then showing the city dancing and singing along to the song, showing that the city is united as one. But this is where the story ends. Kendrick got to show a side of Drake that needed to be seen and sheds more light on this culture. And Drake got to exercise and get that pen work in. Each person got to show more of themselves through these raps and let fans decide who won this beef. But who knows, this could only just be the beginning.
Shut your whole ass up and make some drums.
Yeah, man, that was pretty decent, man. That was pretty good. That was dope, man. Every time I go through all these timelines, there's always somebody that come up with something else. You know what I mean? You did. I thought he said you dig, but he said you did. You know what I'm saying? And then Kendrick comes back with with reincarnated. Stargazing. Like, you can't kill me, nigga. You crazy? I can't wait till that song come out, man. I seen some things and people were saying that was everything he said was a song that Drake took from or borrowed from. I don't know. I seen somebody on TikTok say that. But yeah, that joint right there, man. That joint might be just as big as Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? It got that same feel. So we'll see. But yeah, man. You already know, links will be in description, man. 12 o'clock show, 6 o'clock show coming up, man. Stick with me. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all and all that good stuff. All right, man. See y'all later.